So it is Saturday, it is day 3 of my program, and I'm going to eat this really quickly before I go train a client and then lift myself. I have a rice cake with half a serving of peanut butter, and it is the white chocolate wonderful and a crunchy one, and I mixed them together. And then this Greek light caramel macchiato yogurt and coffee, and yes, I drink it through a straw because I don't want my teeth to get stained. So that is my quick snack, and then I am heading to the gym.
So before I start my day 3, I had a white monster just to give me that little boost to get me through my workout. And setting up, I had no idea that Justin was behind me doing this. So yeah, Justin is the biggest goofball. If you ever meet him, he's just really funny. So but anyway, I started today with reverse lunges, and for me, especially as I've talked about, with the problems I do have with my knee, this is a great exercise because it does put a lot of pressure off of the knee compared to a traditional forward lunge, and it does produce a pretty great training effect. Reverse lunges are a hip dominant movement, and they will activate the posterior chain musculature significantly more than a regular lunge, and they do achieve a slightly higher front side hip flexion angle when the lunge is completed. So basically overall, I just like these better. They put a lot less pressure on my knee, and they allow me to still get in some lunges without giving me that pain. Next is weighted back extensions. So to perform this, just turn your feet out slightly so you're at about a 45-degree angle, and then this will allow your glutes to fire more. To keep this more focused in your glutes, I also make sure I'm not coming up into spinal extension, but instead I am keeping a neutral spine and really squeezing my glutes at the top. You can, perform them just body weight for beginners, or you can grab a plate like I am, and you can also use chains, bands, dumbbells, anything as a progression to make them more challenging. I do feel this a bit in my lower back and mostly my upper glutes. So if you are feeling it too much in your lower back, just reposition yourself and really just focus on using your glutes to pull you up versus your back. So next is standing dumbbell military press. I feel like this is much more challenging than if you are doing them seated. The standing is just more, stability required. And most people do typically have a stronger side. So I do like to switch from using just all barbell exercises and performing some exercises with one arm or one leg. So for this, dumbbells allow me to work on any instability issues I may have because I am pressing both dumbbells unilaterally, forcing both sides to press equal amounts of weight. Versus if you were using a barbell, you could, if your right side is stronger, you could press up a little bit more with that. But this is just making me use both sides with, the same exact amount of weight. So just make sure your lower back isn't arched and that you are doing a full range of motion, bringing the dumbbells to about shoulder level, not just that typical 90-degree angle you see people do, and really getting the most out of the movement and performing a full range of motion. So next is cable rows, and I am making sure that I am alternating my stance for each set, focusing on using my lats to pull the weight back, and then of course Justin was just being completely crazy this day and decided to ruin all my workout footage. But anyway, standing cable rows, so like I said, just alternate your stance and then make sure your back is what is pulling the weight back and not your biceps. If you do feel it mostly in your biceps, just lower the weight and really focus on pulling back. I would typically set this up to be about shoulder height, but since we have this strange adjustment, it's not really working out that way. So just normally if you have like a cable, you can set it to be about shoulder height. Face pulls, since I did complete dumbbell military press today, I also do have a lot of front raises, side raises, other shoulder movements that work the front and side delts. I do want to balance it all out by performing a rear delt exercise. So I'm making sure I'm performing a full range of motion, pulling the rope towards my forehead to really engage the rear delts.
Next is side lying clam, and I usually do incorporate some sort of band work during my workouts because they aren't as taxing on your central nervous system and they allow me to get a great pump. And who doesn't like a good booty pump? So side lying clams strengthen the glutes on a horizontal plane. And feel free to play around with your foot positioning. You can also increase the band's resistance, so like doing a different band, or you can even use two bands, so one above the knee, one like on your calf, and that will just give you the ultimate burn and give you that really great pump. So I really like these. Next is pendulum donkey kicks, and you can perform these with weights if the bands become too easy or if you do have a hard time getting them to stay in position. For me, I don't know, they just stay in place and I can feel it, but for some people it kind of slides up and moves around. But I have seen people use a Smith machine, or some facilities do have a machine specifically for this movement. I believe it's called the Booty Blaster. But you can, use whatever that you have available. We are getting a reverse hyper, which is going to be amazing for performing these. Just make sure your lower back isn't arched and that you are using your glute versus your quads to get the most out of the movement. And really squeeze your glute at the top. Side planks with dips. So as with mostly every exercise I perform, you're going to hear me to say squeeze your glutes hard. Focus on not arching or rounding your spine, and then once you have mastered a proper side plank, you can do these hip dips and it will increase the difficulty and really challenge your obliques. So to increase further than I have with this difficulty, you can go up onto your hand or instead of your forearm, and this will really increase the range of motion, forcing you to really dip down. You can also add any sort of weight, so like putting a chain around you or something like that, and just ultimately getting a really good oblique burn. And to finish off today, I did hanging leg raises. So make sure your hip flexors aren't taking over and you are really squeezing your abdominals to pull your legs up versus just swinging your legs. Also make sure you aren't using momentum, so when I start to sway back and forth too much, I take a rest and then go into my next set. You want to also make sure that your legs are as straight as possible and you're really crunching and using your abdominals. Here you can see I started to get tired, so I just started to bring my knees up to my chest to really just burn it out and get more reps since I was super tired. And that is it for today. So this is the day 3 workout. I hope you all are enjoying this series and can find some of these exercises helpful, or if you're following along, I would love to know if you're performing this full program. So just let me know in the comments below.
So I know there are all kinds of apps and things, and I normally use my FitnessPal to track all my food and everything, but what happened to me about a month ago now was that my phone, the thumbprint reader, stopped working on my phone and my password wouldn't work. So everything in my phone got deleted because I had to do a hard reset and I had to wipe all the things in my phone in order to get into it. I tried talking to AT&T and Samsung and everyone, and they're like, you have to just reboot your phone. So I lost all of my progress pictures, all of my competition photos, everything from the last 2 years. It was all on my phone. So I normally track my weight and just everything in a just regular notebook. So I'm pretty much full in that one. I've been using that one for the past 2 years. So it's time to get a new one. So I just went to the dollar store and I got this. It just has this section, and then it goes from August, because it's supposed to be for school, but it goes from August 2016 to August or July, and it goes till July 2017, which is actually good because my prep is going to start in January 2017 and go until July, so that's actually perfect. So I will be using this for my improvement season and then also for my 2017 competition.
But that is going to wrap up day 3. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for day 4 because that will be coming out soon. And as always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I will see you all next week for day 4 of my program, which is the final day. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I love you all. You're amazing. And I will see you all then. Thank you everyone. Bye.